This is Mr. Burley at the York Catholic District School Board. This is our second tutorial for Photopea. My first tutorial, I went over the layers and bringing images in and how to save files, what all the different tools were and how to access the tools, how to change the properties of the tools, and how to move pictures up and down on layers and so on. In this video, we're going to concentrate on the text option. And by that, what we're going to do is I'm going to create a logo, and I guess we can call this the logo tutorial, I suppose. So first thing I want to do is I want to go File, New, and I'm just going to create exactly the way it comes out default. I'm not going to change anything. One of the things I do want to mention we went through the history and layers and stuff. Over here we have ads. Our good friends at Photopea provide this software to us for free, so we get to they obviously have to make some money, so you can check out their ads. Lots of stuff comes up that's actually interests me, so except for those sweaters. Now, I want to change the background color here. I want to click on this, and I want to change it to, and mine's already set to 37, 37, 37. I'm going to click OK, and I'm going to use the Paint Bucket tool. So right-click the Gradient Paint Bucket tool, and I'm going to click here and change the color of the background. Then I want to come down to the text, and I'm going to drop down menu here, and I'm going to click Dank 1. Dank 1. I think it's pretty cool. Change the size of it, of the lettering, and I'm going to change the color to white for now. And I'm going to click OK. Now it hasn't created a layer yet, but as soon as I do this, you can see a text layer comes up. So I'm going to go at Mr. Burley 113, my Instagram account that I use to promote the school. Now I'm going to grab I want to move it into the proper position, so I'm going to get the grab tool here, the move tool. I can move it anywhere I want, and if I hold the shift key down here, I can increase the size, which is what I want to do. I want to make it a little bigger. Something like that, just so you can see it. I was going to make it so it fit my Instagram perfectly, but my phone, but I'm not going to worry about that just now. So now what we're going to do is we're going to come in, and if you right click here and you select blending options, this comes up. Now you move it out of the way so you can see what's going to happen here, and we can start playing with the blending options. I'm not going to go through every tool on here. There's a lot of tools, and they're all pretty cool, and they do some cool stuff, but I'm going to select Bevel and Emboss. And what that does is Bevel and Emboss, it has a combination, it uses a combination of shadow and highlight to kind of give the thing a three-dimensional look. So drop down menu here to Emboss. And then what you can do is you can start playing with these depths and sizes and stuff, and you can see what you're going to get over here. This will also give you an indicator of what it's going to look like. So if I bring the depth up, you can see it starts to sharpen that image and starts to make it look like it's three-dimensional. And I can make the size of it. I can bring it out a little bit bigger. So there you have a full 3D. I don't want quite that effect, but you can play around with it to get something that you like. I like something that looks about like that. You can change all the other things down here too if you want to play around with some stuff. Then we can select, let's go with the gradient tool. So gradient overlay. The gradient overlay allows you to play with a bunch of colors on the same thing. So if you want to change the color of the gradient, for starters, you click here, and up this comes. And I'm going to move this over again so we can see what's going on. And you can grab these sliders and you can start moving them around to see the effect you get. This pulls the white right off of it, and this adds it back. Sorry, adds more white if you go this direction and less. If you want to add another color, or if you want to change the color, you can just double click this and you can change the color of that gradient. If you want to add another color, you just come here, you add another color. Let's go with blue. Okay. Whoops, I didn't change it. Why didn't I change it? Blue, because I have to change it here. Click OK. And now you can see I've added the color. You can move that around now to see how much you want, how much blue you want. You can add several colors in if you want to. You can play with it like that, see how it looks. It's just a case of, it's very subjective. You move it around until you get what you think looks nice. You can add many more layers too, or many more colors. I could click up here. I can add another red if I wanted to, so I could double click that. It's glitching. Oh, and if you want to get rid of a color, just delete it. Just click highlight it. So if I want to get rid of that blue, I can just highlight it and delete it. But I'm not going to bring it back. Select blue, click OK. I'm going to leave it like that. It looks pretty cool. I'm going to click OK. And now I want to define it a little bit more. So I'm going to click on stroke here. Click on stroke, and you'll notice that right away it adds red stroke. I don't want red. I'm going to go change that color to black. I just want to use the stroke to sharpen it up a bit. Now you can see what that did, bringing that stroke in, and I could grab this and I could make the stroke even bigger, but I'm just going to like 1 pixel, maybe 2 pixels, just to give it a sharpness. So I'm actually going to leave it at 1 pixel. The opacity can change the opacity. You can pull it back and forth. I'm going to leave the opacity close to 100%, maybe about 80, but like that. So you can still see it. It's still sharp. The nice thing about this Photopea is you can have multiple blending in one layer. So if you click here, so I have a stroke and that stroke's on the outside. If I click this here, I can click this guy and I can create another stroke. And this stroke here, I'm going to make it white. So let's go white here. Okay. And I'm going to make this stroke on the inside. And so now I can come now, I'm going to grab this to show you what's happening. You can see there. And that again allows you to define it just a bit more. So you can play around with that to try to get your, something like that starts to pop and make it look like a full 3-dimensional. If I wanted to change that, make it black, I could do that too, to thicken it up again, to make it look more like it's embossed right out of the paper. Multiple images. So the next thing I want to show you is, so let's just say that's finished and I'm happy with that. I'm going to click OK. Again, you can play with as many of those options as you want in there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to crop it to the right size. So if I come over here to get my crop tool, oh, no, I want to add one more thing. I want to show you one more thing. Blending options. Let's do a shadow. Let's do a drop shadow. Drop shadow is pretty cool. Drop shadow makes it look like it's actually coming off the screen. You see here, that's the drop shadow. And I can bring the drop shadow the distance further away so it looks like it's higher off the screen, or I can bring the drop shadow in a little bit closer just to show it like hovering above the screen. I can change the size of the drop shadow. The further out you go, the more blurred it is. The closer you come, the more harsh it is. So if you want to make it look like it's, has a nice soft light on it, you get something like that. You can change the angle of where it is, so you can, the direction the light's coming from, something like that looks pretty cool. Outer glow is also a fairly cool thing to do. I play with that quite a bit. I'm not going to bother with it right now, but so you can play with all these different things. So the drop shadow is nice, makes a full 3D effect to it. Click OK. I'm going to save it like this. Now, at any time you can come over here and you can click this little guy here, like so, and you can see, and we went over this in the last video, but I want to show you again. You can see all the different effects that are actually applied. We played with the outer glow, but you can see I didn't keep it on. So I can come back in here and I can turn these off if I want to, and get another, maybe I don't want that look. And you can kind of finalize things right here. Now we're going to come in and we're going to cut it out. So click this. You want to come down here. You want to make sure you don't cut that shadow out. I want to make it small, but I don't want to lose the shadow. So I'm going to bring that up. I'm going to bring this guy up here like this. The shadow's still there. And you click the OK or check mark, and it saves it like this. So now you can save it. We can export it into the web. So if we wanted to, we could go File, Save. If we saved it as a PSD file, that means we can open it up again tomorrow and we can continue modifying it. Or when we get home tonight, we can continue modifying it. Or we can export it. So we can export it as PNG file, JPEG, SVG, all these different things, even more bitmaps and such, DXF, so for AutoCAD, probably even stereolithography. I don't see stereo, but we're going to save it as a PNG file. PNG file, a nice thing about that is I can have the background clear or transparent. So I'm going to save it as a PNG file. And you can scroll your wheel in and out on your mouse to see it. Now, if I saved it right now, it saves as 119.5 kilobytes. We can play with that a little bit over here by bringing your slider down. If you watch this here, you can zoom right in and you can see when you start to lose quality. I can see it starting right around there. It's starting to lose quality. The nice thing about this is, a lot of the profile pictures in the different sites, Reddits and so on, your profile picture has to be a certain size, can't be any larger in terms of kilobytes. So this is a nice way to finalize that. You can look here and say, yep, that fits perfect. 71 kilobytes is the biggest they can have. So I can keep going up until I get the rates. So there you go. I'd be within that 71 kilobytes, right? Now save. Now it saves as new project. So I highly recommend saving it as the name of yourself or what the project is and the revision of it. We've gone over this in class, because if you just save new project and then you send that to me to look at, I won't know whose project that is. So if you are Rebecca, put Rebecca Emboss project Rev 1. That way, when I open it up on my computer, because I download these all, when I download them, I'll know exactly who it is. Okay, now the nice thing, you just go to your downloads directory, and that will be in there. We can save that and import that into our web design, our Facebook pages, whatever the case may be. Thanks for watching.